Good morning, Pilgrim. Good morning, friends, brothers, sisters. Today, I'm going to read from the English Standard Version, Mark 6:34 through 44. When he went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion on them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things. And when it grew late, his disciples came to him and said, "This is a desolate place, and the hour is now late. Send them away to go into the surrounding countryside and villages and buy themselves something to eat." But he answered them, "You give them something to eat." And they said to him, "Shall we go and buy 200 denarii worth of bread and give it to them to eat?" And he said to them, "How many loaves do you have? Go and see." And when they had found out, they said, 5 and 2 fish. Then he commanded them all to sit down in groups on the green grass. So they sat down in groups by hundreds and by 50s, and taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven, and said a blessing, and broke the loaves, and gave them to the disciples to set before the people. And he divided the fish among them all. And they all ate, and were satisfied. And they took up 12 baskets full of broken pieces and of the fish. And those who ate the loaves were 5,000 men. Well, Charles Spurgeon gave a sermon October 30, 1884, entitled "Certain Curious Calculations About Loaves and Fishes." He read from Mark 8:19 through 21. "When I break the 5 loaves among the 5,000, how many baskets full of fragments took ye up? They say unto him, 12. And when the 7 among 4,000, how many baskets full of fragments took ye up? And they said, 7. And he said unto them, How is it that ye do not understand?" Well, care is always taken by Christ of all the broken pieces. The Lord, all-sufficient, is yet the God of economy. Since Jesus could create as much food as he pleased, you might have thought that it was hardly worth his while to gather up the fragments, and yet he did so. Waste is of Satan, not of God. God is not lavish of creation, nor prodigal of miracles. Though the Lord can raise up in this place, if he pleases, 50 ministers in an instant, he may not do so. But what he would have us do is to make use of such powers as we have. If we are only fragments, our place is not the ground, but the basket. We must not allow ourselves to be thrown away or to be consumed by an animal passion or to be left to decay, but we must be in the Lord's store, ready to be used when the time comes. We shall be of some use one of these days if we are willing to be used. If you, my friend, are not a whole loaf, you are a crust, and no crust may be wasted. If you are not a slice of bread, you are a crumb, and even crumbs are dear to hungry men. If you are not a big fish, yet you may be a little fish, and you must not waste yourself, nor must the church of God allow you to be wasted. But use must be found for you somewhere. But what a wonderful thing this is. Omnipotence, picking up crumbs. God all-sufficient, to whom the cattle on 1,000 hills are as nothing, who could make a whole sea of fishes, or 10,000 worlds of bread by his bare will and nothing else. And yet he sets his disciples to gather up broken pieces, that nothing may be lost. Surely it ill becomes us to waste a penny, to waste an hour, or to waste even an opportunity. Let us be severely economical for the Lord our God. Well, some verses to meditate upon. Proverbs 18:9. Whoever is slack in his work is a brother to him who destroys. Luke 15:12 through 13. And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the share of the property that's coming to me. And he divided his property between them. Not many days later, the younger son gathered all he had, took a journey into a far country. There he squandered his property in reckless living. Luke 16:1. He also said to the disciples, "There was a rich man who had a manager, and charges were brought to him that this man was wasting his possession." The world is full of wasters. Luke 19 through 26. Then another came, saying, "Lord, here's your mina which I kept laid in a handkerchief, for I was afraid of you, because you are a severe man. You take what you did not deposit, and reap what you did not sow." He said to him, "I will condemn you with your own words, you wicked servant. You knew that I was a severe man, taking what I did not deposit and reaping what I did not sow. So why then did you not put my money in the bank? And at my coming I might have collected it with interest." And he said to those who stood by, "Take the mina from him, and give it to the one who has 10 minas." And they said to him, Lord, he has 10 minas. And I tell you that to everyone who has, more will be given. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. But as for these enemies of mine, who did not want me to reign over them, bring them here, and slaughter them before me. I'll end this with 1 Corinthians 4:2. Moreover, it is required of stewards that they be found faithful. Brothers and sisters, fellow pilgrims, are you good stewards with what God gives you? Are you good stewards? God gives us all much. He gives us everything we have, everything we ever will have. Be good stewards of it. God bless, brothers and sisters. Have a great day.